Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Spiritual Handyman. My name is Jason Antelik. I'm your host, and we are here putting spiritual tools into the hands of the people that need them. Today, we are going to be talking with Luci McMonagle, a gifted mystic, healer, and person of influence, and she's going to help us a little bit to identify where we're stuck and how to get unstuck. Reminding everybody out there that you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, or at thespiritualhandyman.com. You can also now find us on Podbean if you prefer to go with the podcast. Just search The Spiritual Handyman, and that is available to you. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Push all the cool buttons, do all the cool stuff, and help us build the community. So I'd like to introduce our guest today. That is Luci McMonagle, as I said, and she's an international best-selling author of magical money manifestation. She's known for her ability to get people unstuck and to open pathways that were previously blocked or closed. And she's been serving the spiritual community for over 20 years now. She's a very talented and friendly and fun lady. So you guys are in for a special treat today. Luci, please introduce yourself and share a little of your story.
Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate you inviting me on to the Spiritual Handyman. And my story is a little typical maybe for those who are waking up and starting to feel the stresses of feeling stuck and not sure what to do next. I started out pretty impoverished, and I had a lot of strange experiences when I was younger. My family has some history of being spiritual in the sense that we can see and sense different things that are not seen and sensed by most people. So my mom shut hers down, so obviously I had to try to learn how to turn mine off. But as I started getting older, mine just started getting more and more powerful, and I needed to get unstuck because I couldn't figure out what to do with this. It was scary. It was frustrating, and I kind of felt like I was a loner, or like maybe I wasn't from here, or maybe there was something wrong with me. And I'd like to help individuals that kind of feel like they're out of place or out of sorts because their abilities are growing and expanding and they just don't know what to do with them.
Thanks for sharing that part of your story with us. It's a running theme with those of us waking up and getting involved in the spiritual community, that there's a point there where we feel alone and we really feel like, am I the only one that experiences this? And it's really great that people are out there sharing their experience and that information. So thank you for being so vulnerable and open to help other people recognize that, yeah, there's other folks that are going through the same kind of thing. So let's start with a fundamental understanding of what it feels like to be stuck. So kind of what are the signs of being in a place where you just, the energies aren't moving, or you can't step forward? What does that feel and look like?
So the way it feels is oppression and depression, not clinical depression. So if you have that, make sure you seek medical advice. Well, you would do it anyway. But you feel like people don't understand you. You feel like you're out of sorts. Sometimes you can't think straight because you're confused. Sometimes you'll think you've seen something, but you're not sure. And then sometimes you start questioning your sanity. And you'll ask your friends and family, say, did you see that? Did you hear that? What is that? Did you smell that? And they'll be like, no. So sometimes you really start thinking you're crazy, or you feel like you're alone, and then you start getting a little scared. You don't want to talk about it with other people, so you start isolating yourself. That's really the deepest part of being stuck, is when you start isolating yourself from other individuals.
That makes a lot of sense, and thank you for touching on all of those points. I know for myself, my sniffer in the real world isn't so fabulous. So when I get sense when I'm reading for somebody, reading for someone, or sitting with someone, I always ask, because occasionally they don't smell it, and I know if I smell it that it really is a thing. I oftentimes will ask, especially in if I'm at a fair or, you know, a larger event, if people smell the same things, because it's a true indication. So fortunately, I've gotten over the hump of that bothering me or making me uncomfortable. But when other people look at you and give you that kind of, you know, weird face, it makes you question yourself and question your own abilities. So what would be the next step? Like, once you've recognized, okay, I am stuck, what comes after that?
So once you start recognizing that you're stuck, one of the very first things that's absolutely necessary is to decide and make an agreement with yourself that you're going to figure a way out of this. You're going to open up your mind so that you will be receptive to teachers, guides, helpers, and you start taking the second step, which is you start moving towards finding information. Now, today we are really, really excited because we have the internet and we have resources. We have people on the internet. We have metaphysical bookstores. We have individuals that advertise and let you know that they exist. We have spiritual retreats. So there's a multitude of ways on how to get unstuck. One of the most important things is to figure out which is the best medium for you to start getting unstuck. Is it a support group with other individuals? Is it going to a metaphysical bookstore and starting to pick up some books? Is it going online, watching YouTube videos, watching something like the Spiritual Handyman? So finding what works for you is the second step. And the third step is to start actually taking some of the advice that you find or that you hear or that you receive and testing it. See if it works for you. Because the way I came out of my being unstuck might not be totally suitable for you, but parts of it might work for you. So that's why you would test some, see if it works, see if you don't, and then understand that this is not an overnight, instantaneous result. You'll have to start doing things and finding out if they work for you, and realizing that there's the law of germination. It takes time to get unstuck sometimes. Sometimes it'll take a few minutes. Sometimes it's a few hours. Sometimes it's a few days or a few weeks, or sometimes longer than that. And really finding your way out of it to find your own personal truth. Sometimes you have to go through what some people call the dark night of the soul, because you start realizing what's real in your world, what's reality to you, and what's real in other people's world. And when you really start getting to the core of who you are, you start finding resources, and then you start finding individuals, and they will show up. I promise you that. There's not been a single person I've worked with in the last 20 plus years that hasn't started finding resources to be able to get unstuck. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that, especially that last piece there, that it will find you. The things will come up. While you were talking, I put together the three words I think that sum up what you just shared, and help me if I'm off here, but awareness,
Yes.
action, and application.
Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect.
I think we just started a retreat
Yes, absolutely.
And
I
you are a
love
master
that.
collaborator, so I would guess that that we could make that happen. But the point there is always becoming aware, and then taking some kind of action when you with that awareness, and then applying the things that you found to figure out, like you said, what works for you. Everybody's spiritual awakening is unique to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and collectively their experience makes them different from everybody else. And by embracing that and trying different things, that's how you find out what's going on, right? That's how you
Yes.
get to that place. One thing I would share with everybody too is that oftentimes we try so many different things and then something really clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that focus is something that is really powerful for us, but it is useful to keep in mind that all of the work that you did up to that breakthrough is cumulative. Even if it's not right in your wheelhouse or really didn't, click the button, it still had some kind of influence of where you got to, whether it's don't do this anymore or add this into your toolbox, right? So oftentimes we have a breakthrough and we think it's the one thing, but it is worth looking at what is the body of work getting you to that point. Would you
Exactly.
agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool, cool. So now that we've talked about the 3 A's,
Yes. I love the
um,
3 A's.
yeah, it works, right? What are some techniques for people? Some simple things that work right away to help people kind of, let me try this, let me try that, to start getting energies moving.
Right. So the first thing that really starts getting energies moving or gives you clarity, even more so, is what I call the focused, balance centered exercise. And this is going to help you regardless of if you're driving, don't do the exercise I'm going to show you. But this will help you really get to your core, your center, so you can find out who you are, especially if you're an empath and you've got all of these other people's emotions and feelings kind of like bombarding you. This is going to create that deep core. So all you have to do is you put your index finger, your pointer finger with your thumb on both hands. This is called the mudra. And I know I'm holding it up to the camera so you can see it, but you can relax your hands. And then the second part, they don't really teach you this unless you're in advanced classes, is you put the tip of your tongue and you reach on the roof of your mouth. There's a little mound. It's almost like an M. In that center, that's where you put it. That closes your energetic circle. That strengthens your aura. And then you take in a couple of deep breaths, nice and deep, and you breathe out through your nose because your tongue is stuck on the top of your mouth or the roof of your mouth. And then you breathe in again all the way down to your toes. And you want to let go of all other people's stuff, other people's things, other people's emotions. You breathe in clarity. And then you breathe out. And then one last time, breathe in focused, balanced, centered. Hold it for a minute. Breathe out. And then one last breath just to make sure you've got everybody's stuff out of you all the way in. And then breathe out, let go of your fingers, let go of your tongue. And then just feel that silence just for a moment. Your mind slows down, your body starts to relax. And in that moment, that's when you get more clarity. That's when you're inside yourself. And most importantly, that's also the space that you create in. So when you have that silence in between your thoughts, that's pure potentiality. That's pure power. And a lot of people think power is this big, strong, masculine, but actually power is this silent stillness within us. And that creates a vortex of energy around us so that we can start discerning between what's ours and what's not. And so the next step, the next tool is you start doing that before you walk out the door. If you have a lot of people in your house, before you get up, you can practice it so that you do it within 30 seconds or less. It's really good if you're going to be going for a job interview, or if you're going to be going into a busy place. And if you're going to go to the airport, or you're going to be in some public place that has lots of people rushing around, and if you're an empath, you get all kind of disoriented, this will help you stay oriented. And then you'll actually start noticing when you start getting these feelings, and you instantly start changing how you feel, and all you did was walk into a room or a place or something, then you're like, that is not mine. And then you can just gently send it back with love and light, and then come back to your center. That's really important, because once you know who you are, then you don't have to be concerned about who other people are, because it's a discovery on you.
That was an immensely powerful exercise. And one of the first impressions that I got when I completed the circuit, right, with the fingers and with the tongue on the roof of the mouth, was that feeling of that personal power, right? Was that feeling of, I am, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm in my space, and it feels really good. One of the neat things about the tongue and the roof of the mouth is the activation of the pineal gland as well, which really heightens your senses too. So it almost closes and completes the circuit at the same time, right?
It does.
Really gives you space to connect with your personal energy. And thank you for reminding me of that. It's been a little while since I had done that. And as a fundamental piece, and that 30 seconds at the beginning of the day or before some type of event or busy place, those are great opportunities to center yourself and become focused, so that the things around you don't affect you the same way. That was really, really great information. Thank you. One of the things that I like to share with folks too is that if you are having blocks in your inspiration or your motivation, that it can be really helpful to go to places where others have expressed themselves. And by that, I mean like an art gallery or a museum, someplace like that where you can take in the expression of others. And sometimes that inspiration can get that energy moving for yourself. It doesn't mean that you see a beautiful painting and become an oil painter, but just recognizing that raw truth that is expressed in those sorts of mediums can really help you recognize it within yourself, right? It's that expression inspires and motivates you. So just another opportunity, another way, another tool for the toolbox, right?
Yes, absolutely. And museums can be so incredible. And, the artwork, and surrounding yourself with beautiful things, even if it's just beautiful things on your desk at work, or if you work in an office, or if you're freelancing, just something that really makes you feel creative and expressive.
And I tell people a lot of times when they're looking for crystals, the fact that you're drawn to it is enough. It doesn't matter what it does. The fact that you think it's pretty, or the color works for you, or it feels nice in your hand, those are all singular reasons that are enough.
Yes.
Right? It's a physical, tangible thing that can assist you in whatever way works for you. So it's again about finding the tools for yourself and really recognizing what that is. I know that every reader that I see anywhere, whether it's in a metaphysical store and at an event, they have kind of their little care package that they set out, right? I have that. I have my little bag of, this is what I take with me, and I set these things out, and that's, those are the things that I reference and use when I'm doing readings. And everybody has that, that one or two or half a dozen things that work for them. So
Yes.
That's powerful information. What other suggestions might you have about getting that energy moving? And then another thing too is about keeping it moving, continuous. So,
Right. So we've already touched upon, finding something that makes you feel creative, expressive, moving forward. So if I'd like to give you like an energy boost, and if you're sensitive, you'll feel this. If you're driving or if you're working with heavy machinery, please don't accept this gift until later. You can re-listen to this. The gift will continue to come through. One of my expertise is I literally pull beautiful energies out of the ethers that are positivity energy to help people. So all I need you to do is just reach your hands out as if somebody's going to hand you a package, and then I'm going to hand this to you, and let me know when you receive it, Jason, and then I'll know everybody else received it because it's going to multiply itself.
oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
So this you can put in your heart, you can put in your solar plex, you can just put it on your desk or whatever, and it's just going to make you feel really good. and it gives you like the giggles, and it makes you feel happy. And that really helps you get unstuck, because laughter, happiness is really a momentum. It's like a hiccup. It's like poof, gets you out of that last mode, and then it'll help you move forward. And the other thing is, and I want to be mindful of time, is I'm going to be talking about continuing with your creativity with a little arts and crafts project that is the Wealthy Bohemian Wealth Pouch. And it explains to you a little bit about their artisan bohemians and what they used to believe. And they used to have these things that they'd put together, and that would make them magnetic to money. So I'd like to offer that to you also. And I'm not sure if you want to have me. Okay, so the website for that is wealth, WEALTH, pouch, POUCH.com, wealthpouch.com. And that'll tell you a little bit about the Wealthy Bohemian money pouch, and then it's completely free. Just tell me where you want me to send it, and it's going to help you continue to create and recreate and to look at how you can become not only creative but also a money magnet.
You had shared the website with me, and I took a look at it, and it's really cool. It definitely worth a visit. So the wealthpouch.com, I will put that down in the description. So there'll be a link there for folks, and definitely go check that out, because I mean, the first thing it does is unlock the money, be the inner millionaire, bring it to the surface, right? So it obviously has some validity. It works. And it's free. I mean, how cool is that, Luci? It's so generous of you, and thank you for sharing that with the folks out there and our viewers and our listeners. That's powerful information. If people want to know more about you, or especially the book, let's share a little bit about your book. I know you have a copy of it there.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So Magical Money Manifestations is all of the tools and the skills that I developed and created to go from extreme poverty, where I had to choose between eating crackers or feeding my son at one time, to really becoming very wealthy, to now where I work because I love to work, because I'm enjoying it, because I get to help people, and not because I have to. And this book is on Amazon. You can find it at amazon.com, and it'll help you develop the skills and the tools for mindset. It'll help you become more magnetic to money, unlocking your inner millionaire. And it'll also give you tips and strategies on on how I actually started managing my spiritual abilities, but it's kind of hidden in there because this whole book is encoded with high vibrational words that is in a sequence that unlocks your wealth vibes.
I love that you've got the spiritual between the lines. That's beautiful. That's fabulous. Even within the lines, really, it sounds like.
Yes.
So thanks for sharing that part. And also, you offer a lot of courses and one-on-one and readings. You do so many different things. Where else can people find you if they want to reach out directly and work directly with you? Tell us more about that.
Right. So if you want to get a hold of me, and my website is Luci, Luci McMonagle, that's McMonagle, LuciMcMonagle.com. You can find me, find out more information on my website. If you do a Google search on me, you'll find all kinds of things about me. I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. So wherever you search, you'll find pretty much me. If you go to my website, I have blog postings. I have a link to the Wealthy Wednesday show that I used to produce. And I have all kinds of tips and strategies on there too.
So much stuff out there. You've been doing this for a long time and sharing that information with folks. And thank you for being so open and getting the information and the knowledge out there and being so generous in that aspect, because that really is what makes the difference in the world. And I love that you share that you work because you want to, because you get to help people and impact lives in a positive way. There's so many of us that strive for exactly that too. So thank you for that support. Folks, recognize that, as always, I will put those links to all of Luci's goodies out there in the description. So if you want to reach out to Luci personally, or you want to grab the book or get more information, that's your first location for the links to do so. Luci, thank you for being on the show. It's not possible to build this community without folks out there that are willing to share the tools that people need. So on behalf of the community and our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for being on today.
Well, thank you. I'm so grateful for you for hosting this, putting this together, and having a resource for individuals that really could use your services and utilize the information for the guests that you have on the show.
And that is really what it's all about. It's putting spiritual tools into the hands that need them. That's going to conclude this episode of the Spiritual Handyman. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, help build the community. It takes a lot of people to make a community, so everybody's welcome. And hope that you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time around.
The Spiritual Handyman, bringing spiritual tools to the hands of the people who need them. Sponsored by the Eagle Heart Foundation. The Eagle Heart Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that brings charitable contributions and educational enhancements to the people. So how can you be a part of the Spiritual Handyman and the Eagle Heart Foundation? The Triple Win Situation. This book was written by Granddaughter Crow, and half of the proceeds go to the Eagle Heart Foundation, which in turn sponsors the Spiritual Handyman. How to get it one? It's on Amazon and Kindle for only $9.99. So we are here to bring tools to you. Thank you so much, Spiritual Handyman. We believe in what you do.